Ladies and gentlemen of the intellectual Colosseum, let us embark on a cerebral odyssey as Destiny, a modern-day philosopher, grapples with the leviathan that is the synergy of liberalism and capitalism.
Masterson, Manifesto. Oh no, Maddox, what are you doing? Something I thought was really interesting that that Scott Alexander blog that we read is this is like I'm like dripping with historical recentism. Okay, so I'm only saying this probably because I'm living at this particular moment in time. And maybe 100 years from now, I would look back and I would go, well, this is why these YouTube commentators are so stupid. Something that Scott Alexander said that I thought was interesting is the idea that, like, part of the reason why, no, not part of the reason, maybe the main reason why liberalism and capitalism works is because it's not like an ideology or a collection of ideas that dictates things harshly to people. Like, you have to do this, you need to do that, you've got to do that. But rather, it's kind of this like, it's like this amoeba type thing that has so much space in it for other stuff to be subsumed by it. I think even in some of the critiques of capitalism, we watched that one Cuck Philosophy video where he talked about how one of the frustrations of a lot of, like, was it Marxists or whatever, was that, like, capitalism was so good at subsuming everything within it that even critiques of capitalism become capitalist itself, right? Hassan is a good example of that. Not to shit on Hassan or anything, but I'm saying, yeah, capitalism and liberalism are so flexible as ideologies. It's really hard to, like, say, like, I don't want that, I want this. Because typically when you go to other things, so theocratic forms, autocratic, authoritarian, totalitarian, like, these things tend to dictate so much more and they have less room for flexibility. And then, you know, when something is less flexible, there's pros and cons to that, right? When you look at the, right, this is every child learns this, you look at an airplane and you go, oh my God, the wing is bending so much, that's so scary. And it's like, well, no, the wing bending is a good thing because if it didn't bend, it would break, right? So, you know, things that are more rigid, you know, maintain a stronger shape. Authoritarian regimes have a little bit more ability to be kind of harsh, but then when things get really, when they break, they shatter. They completely are destroyed. I thought, I'm just talking about that Scott Alexander article. It resonated with me. It was interesting. And I've taken some of those ideas and I use those now in debates with people sometimes. I did that in that last socialism versus capitalism debate. And I feel like it's an optical win and it's an ideological win when I'm arguing with a socialist and I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you think co-ops and socialism are so great, why don't you go and kind of like just do it? And it's like, well, what do you mean by that? It's like, well, you can go start a cooperatively owned business. Nobody has to have profits. You don't need private owners. You can do all of that right now in our liberal capitalist society, can't you? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. And it's like, okay, so you can do all that. In your society, let's say I wanted to start a business through private investment. Would I be allowed to do that? No, we would have to guillotine you. It's like, okay, well, yeah. What's up, Axel? Can you confirm or deny you'll be moving out of the United States? I don't know who I'm going to be in 2 weeks on all this.
In the grand arena of ideologies, Destiny invokes an esoteric gem from the Alexander blog, proposing that the triumph of liberalism and capitalism lies in their dynamic nature, akin to the pulsating rhythm of a hip-hop beat that allows diverse voices to harmonize within its cadence. Destiny, with the sagacity of a great weaving tales of wisdom, articulates an intriguing concept drawn from the annals of an Alexander blog. This notion suggests that the triumph of liberalism and capitalism lies not in the rigidity of dogma but in the malleability that allows a plethora of ideas and perspectives to coalesce within their expansive framework. In the symphony of ideologies, liberalism and capitalism emerge as jazz virtuosos, improvising and adapting to the ever-changing melodies of human existence. Yet, Destiny, akin to a vigilant sentinel, casts his gaze upon a critique of capitalism, unraveling a paradox where even those who decry its shortcomings find themselves unwittingly entwined within its embrace. It's a linguistic ballet where critiques pirouette into capitulation, highlighting the assimilative prowess of capitalism. Destiny, however, does not shy away from critiquing the critique, questioning the efficacy of alternatives that may not provide the same latitude for dissent and evolution. Drawing an analogy as intricate as the interwoven verses of a rap cipher, Destiny likens the flexibility of liberalism and capitalism to the resilience of an airplane wing. Rigidity, he opines, may appear robust in theory, yet it crumbles like the ruins of empires when subjected to the crucible of reality. The metaphorical wing of liberalism bends gracefully, maintaining strength under the duress of dissent and differing perspectives. One glaring deficiency in certain ideologies is their propensity for rigid dogma, a trait that acts as a proverbial millstone around their necks. Unlike liberalism, which adapts to the ebb and flow of societal tides, rigid ideologies tend to ossify, becoming relics of a bygone era. The inability to evolve, akin to a tree unwilling to shed its leaves in the changing seasons, leaves these ideologies susceptible to obsolescence. Another Achilles heel is the tendency of some ideologies to stifle individual freedom and innovation. In contrast, liberalism's embrace of personal liberties and economic freedom fosters an environment conducive to creativity and progress. The stifling grip of authoritarian ideologies often curtails the blossoming of individual potential, leading to a stagnation that contrasts starkly with liberalism's dynamic ethos. Moreover, the failure of certain ideologies lies in their penchant for centralization of power. Liberalism, with its commitment to checks and balances, disperses authority across various branches, preventing the concentration of power in the hands of a few. Conversely, ideologies that gravitate toward authoritarianism risk succumbing to the perilous allure of unchecked power, a path laden with historical pitfalls and societal fractures. Additionally, the success of liberalism is rooted in its capacity to strike a balance between state intervention and free market dynamics. While some ideologies advocate for extreme positions, such as laissez-faire capitalism or absolute socialism, liberalism navigates the middle ground, recognizing the need for a judicious interplay between state and market forces. This balance acts as a stabilizing force, preventing the excesses that can accompany either extreme. Furthermore, the adaptability of liberalism allows it to accommodate diverse perspectives and cultural nuances. In contrast, ideologies that demand homogeneity may find themselves grappling with the complexities of human diversity. Liberalism's openness to a plurality of ideas creates a resilient framework that weathers the storms of cultural evolution. In the arena of global governance, the success of liberalism often lies in its internationalist outlook. While certain ideologies may harbor insular tendencies, liberalism recognizes the interconnectedness of the world. In an era of global challenges, the ability to forge alliances and collaborations becomes paramount, a strength that liberalism leverages to navigate the intricate tapestry of international relations. However, it is crucial to approach this discourse with a degree of humility, acknowledging that no ideology is a panacea. Liberalism, while displaying remarkable adaptability, is not exempt from critique and improvement. The strength of liberalism lies not in absolute perfection but in its capacity to evolve, learn from mistakes, and recalibrate in response to changing circumstances. Destiny, like a lyrical luminary, finds resonance in these ideas, incorporating them into his intellectual arsenal when engaging in verbal jousts, particularly when sparring against the ideological heavyweight of socialism. In the grand amphitheater of debate, he extols the virtues of a liberal capitalist society, where individuals possess the freedom to birth cooperatively owned enterprises, unshackled from the chains of private ownership or relentless pursuit of profit. In Destiny's discourse, socialism emerges as a rigid composition, a musical piece confined to a singular melody that may resonate with some but stifles the diversity of harmonies that liberalism and capitalism permit. Destiny, the philosophical bardsman, suggests that the true strength lies not in dogmatic adherence but in the fluidity that allows ideas to dance freely, avoiding the brittle fate of systems that shatter like ancient pottery under the weight of inflexibility. In conclusion, Destiny, with the eloquence of a linguistic maestro, unfurls the tapestry of his thoughts on the success of liberalism and capitalism. The ideological dance, akin to a hip-hop cipher, celebrates the adaptability of these systems, allowing diverse voices to contribute to the symphony of progress. Destiny's discourse, enriched with historical and cultural cadences, invites contemplation on the dynamic nature of ideologies and the resonance they find in the ever-evolving rhythms of human society.